Most people don't think of agriculture as a source of stormwater pollutants. However, farms are actually a major source of a number of stormwater pollutants, including sediment, nutrients, and pathogens. Livestock is one way this happens. If cows' primary source of water is from a stream, they need to climb down into the stream to access it. This causes trampling of the banks, which pushes sediment into the streams. They also defecate while they are in the water, adding pathogens to our drinking water sources. Providing them an alternate water source and fencing off the stream can help keep our streams clean. It can be as simple as an earthen berm with a pipe underneath or a nice bridge, as long as the cows don't have to go in the stream and trample the banks to get across the water.
What we're looking at here is a rainfall simulator, and it is showing what happens to different land uses during a rain or a storm event. And what we have here is a demonstration of just a root area, and then a tilled or graded landscape where there's nothing growing on it, and a well-managed pasture. This could also represent a no-till cover crop system. And the buckets on the front are showing runoff, and the buckets on the back are showing infiltration. And what you can see here is if you have a lot of cover growing on an area, either good pasture or good cover crops, you get a lot of infiltration and very little runoff, and the runoff that you are getting is pretty clean. Whereas if you're in a conventionally tilled system or a graded construction site, something like that, you get very little runoff and very little infiltration and a lot of runoff, and that runoff is very dirty.
Welcome to the lab. Here we are showing the importance of riparian buffers along streams because of how plants uptake water and nutrients. Right now, we're adding food dye to show how plants suck up water. We'll check back in a bit.
Sediment. You do know why you're here.
No, you're gonna have to tell me. I don't understand why I'm here.
You polluted the river. We know you did. We see traces of you everywhere, suspended in the water. We know that you polluted the river.
I'm not a pollutant.
Yes, you are.
I'm not a pollutant. How is dirt a pollutant?
When you suspend in the water, you block fish from finding their food. We can't see the bottom, sunlight can't get through, and vegetation dies. Those are not positive things.
Sounds like it's not my fault. I'm just gonna be honest here. I think you have the wrong man.
I don't think we do. You are one of the top polluters in Tennessee, and this is the Tennessee River. We can clearly see it. You know what? Here, no. Here are all the samples. We have light brown.
No, that's not me.
We have
That's
regular
not me.
brown.
Mm-mm.
We have dark brown.
No.
Do you see this?
Mm-mm.
Sediment.
Mm.
See this?
No.
We know you polluted it.
It wasn't me. I'm telling you.
I beg to differ. Proof. Right here. That looks very similar to me. What do you have to say for yourself?
I don't know who it is. All I'm gonna say is you have the wrong person. You have the wrong person.
So who else? Who else do I need to talk to?
Try nutrients. Nutrients. Talk to nutrients. Yeah.
The stuff that sustains life.
Yes. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds crazy. Sounds crazy, I know, but should try nutrients.
Right. I think you should stick around town. I might have more questions.
Can I go now?
I guess.
We're done here.
Something that you can do in order to keep from over-fertilizing your ground is actually doing a soil test and then sending it in and finding out exactly how much of each nutrient you need for the specific crop that you're trying to grow. This plot was planted with strawberries, so a soil test was done to check the right amount of nutrients in order to get the most amount of strawberries, because you'll need different nutrients for different plants. And if you put too much of a nutrient on there, such as nitrogen, or phosphorus, the excess nutrients can actually get washed into a stream, which will cause the plants and the animals in that stream to end up dying. So we want to keep all that excess nutrients out of there. It will also save you money because you won't be buying extra fertilizer that you don't actually need.
I'm Quinn Cipher from the Knox Soil Conservation District. We're out on a farm in Knox County that is practicing rotational grazing. It's a managed grazing system, and this has a lot of benefits for both the environment and for the livestock producer.
Rotational grazing is when you have multiple pastures that you rotate the animals in between to give the soil time to rest and the grass time to grow. As you can see here, the cows start in pasture 1 and are moved to pasture 2 to allow pasture 1 to rest. Then they are moved to pasture 3 and 4. Move them every 3 days or so when the grass is eaten down to 4 inches tall. This will double the grazing efficiency. Make sure the grass is 8 inches or taller when you turn the cows into the new pasture. And don't forget to have a centralized watering system connected to all the pastures so the cows don't have to access the stream. Rotational grazing helps keep pathogens and sediment out of the stream, as well as increasing productivity for the producer.
Using this method allows farmers to keep their fields from eroding, which would keep sediment from washing into the streams. Having the grass grow a little taller also allows you to not have to fertilize as often, which also keeps that fertilizer out of the streams. To help reduce the amount running into creeks, try spraying when you know it will be dry, or try integrated pest management. This is when you use natural predators of your pests to reduce their impact on your crops.
Here is the aphid in its natural habitat. But wait, what's this? A green lacewing has come to feast. The aphid is no match for this predator. Good luck eating the crops next time, aphid.
Hello, nutrients. I think you know why you're here. Can you tell me? No? Because sediment threw you under the bus. You're causing stormwater pollution in the waterways.
There's no way.
Yeah, there is this floating green stuff. Looks a lot like this. Everywhere.
Listen, I really love my plants, man. I just want to give them a chance to grow, you know?
But too much of you is too much. You're starting to cause algal blooms. So actually all your plants are dying.
I don't know, man. I mean, how can nitrogen and phosphorus be bad? They're natural and they're just nutrients.
I understand that they're the building blocks of life, but too much is causing everything to be choked out by algae. And they might be naturally occurring, but when people take them and put them in things like fertilizer, it becomes a problem. It's too much. People are putting too much on their lawns, too much on their farm fields, and it's just washing straight into the rivers. And then the rivers look like this.
Look, I'll admit, I might get a little carried away sometimes, but there's no way that I'm the biggest polluter.
I don't know. You're on here. You're up there, and
maybe you should just talk to somebody else. Leave me and my plants in peace.
As you can see, these flowers actually took up a lot of the color that was in the water that we placed them in, which is similar to what plant roots do with stormwater runoff and the nutrients that are often in that. It sucks it up, and so it doesn't get into streams. So the plants around streams are part of what we call riparian buffers. Riparian buffers are basically just the area around a stream that's full of plants. And so the roots of those plants hold the soil in place, keeping erosion from happening as badly, and also uptaking the nutrients and keeping them from getting into the water. This down here is what happens when you have excess nutrients. The nutrients will run off into the pond, which will cause algae to grow because they're a plant and they like nutrients. As the algae grows, it actually will start taking over the entire pond, and then when it dies, when it decomposes, it uses up all the oxygen, which causes fish to die.
my goodness. You go police stop this. What? You get your batteries. You get your batteries. Oh! K9 unit. Okay, I got it. Be there in a moment. Let's go, Cheyenne.